morning, my friends. How are you on this beautiful Sunday morning? If you're new, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back to Hills Presbyterian Church's Sunday School. A little birdie told me that we are going to be able to be in person soon. Don't have the date yet, but it's sooner than I thought, and I am so excited. You can come back to Sunday school. It's going to be awesome. Myself and a bunch of us have been working very hard to get it all clean, repainted, carpet done, ceilings done, windows washed. So when you come back, it's just going to be great. We're going to have fun and we're going to learn about Jesus. How much more fun can you have? I'm just loving it. So that's coming soon. So this little birdie told me, so it must be true. Yes, it is. It is. I'm so excited. Okay, today our stories are going to help me tell them. There we go. Help me tell them. The first story is going to be with animals. Do any of you have any animals at home? Yeah. Me too. Now you've probably met Bucky or heard Bucky bark before in my videos. And then I have a little princess who is a little old lady and she really loves to bark. So I know you've heard her. Then I've got my fun little Nala who isn't little. She's huge. She's my kitty cat and she loves to be on my shoulder. Only sometimes I don't know she's coming and she just jumps on my shoulder. About knocks us both down. But I love her. She's so fun. Then I have my little tiny fish, Fred. He's red. Fred is not really a friend of Nala's, the cat, but Nala thinks so. Because we have Fred's little tank covered up and we have a bowl on top that has kind of holes in it so he can breathe. There's oxygen there. And Nala likes to stick her paw down in there and turn the water. Fred doesn't think that's so much fun. I don't know why. You know what? Oh, maybe because he doesn't like kitties. So those are my animals. So I am going to have animals help tell the story and also food. Who doesn't like food? What's your favorite kind of food? Is it more of a meat or a chip or a cookie? I'm trying to think what my favorite food is. Oh, if I could have my favorite meal, it'd probably be a great big steak and maybe some asparagus and a salad. I love those kind of things. Now, I like my sweets too, so my story is going to have some of those things in it. So I'm just excited to be here Sunday and tell you some more stories about Jesus. Maybe online this week, but I guarantee not too many weeks away, we're going to be here in person and we are going to have fun learning about Jesus. I can hardly wait. I'm looking around at all the cool things we're doing to get ready for you to come back. Some is going to look the same and some is going to look very different. And if you haven't been here before, we want you to come. We welcome you to come on Sundays and see us. And other times when we have fun, because we are going to have a parents' night out. That has to wait a little while, but at least we can come back to Sunday school. I'm so excited to see all of you and meet all of you and re-meet all of you. So I am going to get my story ready and then we're going to go on with some food and some animals. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, now I told you I've got 2 stories today. So I am going to start with my first story. Now, what do you think if you only ate chocolate cake, let's see what this picture is. Ice cream. Look at all those layers of ice cream. Ice cream. This is what you only ate. Cookies. Oh, those are good too. Oh, you're going to love this one. All kinds of candy. Oh, this is one of my husband's favorites. potato chips and only drink soda. So eating chocolate cake and ice cream and candy and potato chips, only drinking soda, and brushing your teeth with soda. That's all you ate. That's all you drank. And you brushed your teeth with the soda too. How do you think you'd feel? Well, maybe in the very beginning you might be okay. But after a couple meals of just cake and cookies and candy and chips and soda, I know my stomach would start to hurt. That's a lot of sugar. That's a lot of sugar for anybody, no matter how old you are. So you think you might not feel good? Yeah, I think so too. I don't think I'd feel good. And after about 2 days of that, I know I would really not feel good. In fact, I'd probably be at the point where I wouldn't want to eat anything because it had made me so sick. What are some healthy foods that you could eat? What do you think are some healthy foods? Vegetables, yeah, all kinds of vegetables. And these have all kinds of special vegetables. But I mean, like regular vegetables, maybe some tomatoes or some carrots or some celery. Here's some more. Right here, maybe some potatoes and onions, just things that are healthy for you. And what about, fruit. Now, I love fruit. And fruit is sweet. So a lot of times, if I know better, I should not have that cookie or that piece of cake. I will eat some fruit, maybe an apple, an orange, a banana. I love fruit on my yogurt. And what about, instead of drinking soda, we drink water? I think water would be much better. That definitely would make you feel better. I ask about the healthy and unhealthy foods because that's what's kind of going to be in our story today. I told you we had food in it, so we saw the unhealthy, which is not bad to have once in a while and not a lot of it. But you don't want to make a meal out of it. Oh no, that'd make you sick. We want to bring in maybe some even chicken or fish, maybe a little bit of the beef and fruits and vegetables and water. Then we can add in some of the sugar because that'll make it better. So today, our story is about Jesus is going to tell a story. And they're parables. So he kind of takes a story that's easier for us to understand so that we understand that story, and then he tells us about his story. So it makes it easier. So the story I'm going to tell you is about a gardener. Gardener comes out and he's got all these beautiful fig trees. And then there's this one that has no leaves on it, no fruit on it. So he goes to the gardener and he says, let's pull it. It's not producing. I just think we need to get rid of it. And the gardener's like, no, will you give me one more year? Will you let me put some really good dirt in there and feed it and maybe cut it back some? And please, will you let me just give it one more year? And the owner's like, okay, you've got all these other beautiful ones. I'll let you try and see. So the gardener goes and gets some really good dirt. And he gets some special food for this fig tree. And he also cuts it back a little bit. Because sometimes, just like a haircut, you got to cut it back, get all the dead hair off of there. So you got the dead branches off. And all of a sudden, leaves and fruit, those are figs, are starting to grow. He took care of it. In his way, he gave it love. He gave it that special dirt and the special food, and he cut it back. And look, leaves and fruit start to grow. And before you know it, bigger leaves and way more fruit and bigger fruit. Because some are figs, some turn black when they're ripe. Some are kind of a brown, and some really are kind of a green. I've even seen striped figs. So they're just yummy. So because the gardener got the owner to say okay, and he gave it this special love and the special dirt and everything, all of a sudden it started to grow. So let's pretend that the gardener is God. So the one taking care of this tree is God. Then we see God helping the tree grow and having fruit. So now it is a great tree. It grows the fruit, the leaves, so they get shade. They get food off this tree, just like all the rest. And if we pretend the tree in our story is us, and we need the healthy, we need to be healthy too, which doesn't always mean eating the healthy fruit or vegetables or drinking the water. For instance, God gives us love, wisdom, patience, forgiveness. Those are the things God gives us so that we can grow like the fig tree. We're the tree and God is the love, the dirt, the food. He's trimming us. The story today is meant to remind us, I think, if we receive God's love, wisdom, patience, everything that God has to give us, then we will have more of God's love, wisdom, and patience to share with others. Isn't that what we love to do? I'm sharing with you, and I love that. And I want you to share with others. So that is what God is giving us. He is making us healthy and giving us love and patience and guidance and everything we need to go share with others, just like the fig tree. The more of God's love, wisdom, patience we receive, the healthier, the stronger we become, which is good for us and everyone around us. That is the good news of this story. That you were like a fig tree. Can you guys kind of look like a fig tree? Maybe in the beginning we're kind of the dead fig tree. There, kind of the dead fig tree, kind of make a weird face. And then we're going to kind of grow and be the happy fig tree because all that God has given us. Isn't that a beautiful story? And I promised you 2 stories. So I'm going to go ahead with the second story. I'm going to find it underneath there. Okay, now we talked about pets. Now sometimes, maybe more than sometimes, our pets don't really mind. They try, and we try to train them. You know, like my big dog, I really don't like him on the couch because when he gets on the couch, he messes up the pillows and he leaves a lot of fur. So when I go to sit down, I get up and I have fur on me and I have to put the pillows back and I have to vacuum it. So sometimes they just don't, want to do what we want them to do. Or for instance, have you ever tried to give your doggy a bath? And they don't really want it. I know I've tried and it can be a struggle. And I think I end up more wet than my doggy does. But they try to get out and just they get out, they shake. I tried to give Buddy a bath in the shower. I took him in. I had my shorts on, my t-shirt, my tennis shoes, so we're all safe. Try and give him a bath. He's not really happy with the shower, but I get him all washed. And I'm thinking, okay, I have to get him to the backyard before he shakes. Only by the time I open the shower door and grab the towel, he takes off. Shakes in my bedroom, down the hall, in the kitchen, in the den, then the backyard. So I have water everywhere. I have to clean this mess up. And that's not exactly what I wanted to do. So, Jesus is in Jerusalem, and he wants to gather everyone together. And this is kind of a picture of another animal, and maybe some of you have some of these chickens. I don't know for sure if you do, but if you have chickens, when it's cold, the mommy is very loving. And she will gather them in when it's cold, or if they just need to be safe. Maybe there's something around and she has a call, and she will bring her chickens under her, and she will hide them or keep them warm so they're safe and warm. And that's kind of what Jesus wants for us. He wants to bring us all together. He wants to gather us. But in the city of Jerusalem, people didn't want to listen. They covered their ears. They walked away. They didn't want to listen. Herod was not nice to Jesus. He didn't like him. So all these people just didn't want to listen to Jesus. And Jesus is like, no, I want you all together, gather together so I can teach you and keep you safe and warm. But Jesus, the people there just didn't want to receive God's care. Then they also were not too interested in listening or following him, which really made Jesus sad. He was frustrated. For Jesus, he knows if we follow God, we follow him, how fabulous our lives can be. We get this love and forgiving and hope. We get that food like for the fig. We don't want to be like our animals who aren't listening, who are not doing what they're supposed to do. So Jesus just wants us all together, to listen to his stories. Just like we know it's better for our dogs and cats to get those baths, to get their shots, to get their medicine, to do what we ask them to do. Sometimes they don't want to listen. And so sometimes they might get sick, or they're going to be really dirty. Things like that. So we just want, God just wants us, and Jesus just wants us to gather together. Like he is our little mama hen. And he wants to take care of us and show us love and show us how to forgive. He wants us to come to him, to pray, to talk to him, to accept his love, to forgive others, because he forgives us. I just love those stories that you can take a doggie who wants to shake all over the house and turn it into a story that Jesus doesn't want us to be the doggie shaking all over the house and not listening. He wants us to gather. He wants to love us. I love the stories Jesus tells. The fig tree, we are that old, icky tree, and we become the beautiful tree with his love. So I hope you love those stories as much as I love telling them to you. But also, each time I read them, I learn something new. And that is what is so exciting. So, you have music now. So you go and you wiggle and you shake and you do the little hand motions and the rolling and everything else. Because we are having VBS this summer. And you'll be able to help teach it to the other kids. So, I'll be back after you shake, rattle, and roll. Have fun.
God of heaven and earth, you are amazing. You hold me up with your hand. You give me faith, and I will put hope in you alone, in you alone. God of heaven and earth, you are amazing. You hold me up with your hand, you give me faith, and I will put my hope in you alone, in you alone.
I will put my hope in you, Lord. You alone are everything I need. My hope is in you alone, in you alone. I will put my hope in you, Lord. You alone are everything I need. My hope is in you alone, in you alone.
Heaven and earth, you are amazing. You hold me up with your hand, you give me faith, and
Everything I need. My hope is in you alone, in you alone.
heaven and earth, you are amazing. You hold me up with your hand, you give me faith, and
Everything I need. My hope is in you alone, in you alone.
God of heaven and earth, you are amazing. You hold me up with your hand, you give me faith, and I will put my hope in you alone, in you alone. God of heaven and earth, you are amazing. You hold me up with your hand, you give me faith, and I will put my hope in you alone, in you alone.
Today we live, today we breathe, today we know that we are strong when we are weak. Today we trust, we overcome, take every chain that kept us slaves and throw them off. We're not waiting for permission, we defy our inhibition, like our middle name is fearless, son of red. If we're gonna fly, we fly like eagles, arms out wide. If we're gonna fear, we fear no evil. We will rise. By your power, we will go. By your spirit, we are bold. If we're gonna stand, we stand as giants. If we're gonna walk, we walk as lions. Today we live, today we breathe, today we know that we are strong when we are weak. Today we trust, we overcome, take every chain that kept us slaves and throw them off. We're not waiting for permission, we defy our inhibition, like our middle name is fearless, unafraid. If we're gonna fly, we fly like eagles, arms out wide. If we're gonna fear, we fear no evil. We will rise. By your power, we will go. By your spirit, we are bold. If we're gonna stand, we stand as giants. If we're gonna walk, we walk as lions.
It was awesome! Woo!
Okay, how is that? Are you guys really getting those down? I know that we've got all these songs, all these hand motions, and we're going to keep playing them so that you guys can learn all the songs, all the hand motions, and be up there helping to teach this. This is going to be exciting. Now, I don't know if you guys can hear, but I can hear. They are working on our elevator today, so there's a lot of hammering. I know that Pastor Lisa, her husband Alan, which if you've been here, you know. If you haven't, you got to come meet Alan. He is fun. He's been working on a lot of stuff. And here's a perfect example of forgiving. I am here in the nursery taping, and usually nobody ever walks in the nursery when I'm here. I'm always working. Nobody ever comes in. But today, 2 different people walked in. Well, by the time the second person walked in, and I'm talking to you, trying to tape some of this for Sunday, and I yelled, "Don't walk in, don't walk in." Well, it was Alan. Everybody loves Alan. Alan's fun. And I feel terrible. I've apologized 2 times, and I want to apologize again. I feel terrible. I didn't mean to yell. I just was trying to make it perfect for you guys. And so I did. I yelled, "Don't come in, don't come in." Now, I know Alan. So when I say I'm sorry, and I mean it, he forgives me. And that's what we do as friends. Sometimes we may say or do something that just isn't nice. I didn't need to yell. I just needed to say, "Wait, stop." I would have yelled that too. Either way, I needed to put up signs saying, "I'm filming in here, and please don't open the doors," so that my kiddos can hear me. So that is just a simple way of, saying I'm sorry. I did something I shouldn't have. And to have my friend Alan say, "That's okay. I forgive you." And those are the ways that we forgive each other and we forgive our friends. Because sometimes we will say or do something, or they're going to do it to us. And God says we need to forgive. Sometimes it's hard. I know it's hard. But that's what we need to do. And you know what I found? When I have forgiven somebody who said they're sorry and I'm still really mad about it, I start to feel better. I start to feel really good. Because whoever it was said they were sorry, and they were. And I said, "It's okay. Thank you for apologizing." That's what God wants us to do. And do you know what? I feel so much better. So sometimes it's hard. And sometimes it's a little easier because I yelled and I shouldn't have. But when we forgive, it's awesome. Just awesome. So I want to say thank you to the food, the good food, the bad food, all the food, our animals, for helping me tell the stories today. So I just realized, again, I get so excited about the stories, I forget to pray, and I'm not wanting to forget to pray. I am not. Like I've told you before, I drove in today to the church. It's a long drive, and God and I have conversation, and I love it. I pray to Him. I don't have to close my eyes. Remember, I've told you before, sometimes you just don't need to close your eyes. But if you want quiet and peace, I close my eyes. But not while I'm driving. Never while I'm driving. So we have our conversations. That's what He wants from you. So let's calm ourselves, fold our hands and close our eyes and say, "Dear Lord, thank you. Thank you for the stories and how you teach them to us. That we can be that fig tree. And when you give us the love and understanding and patience and hope, we become alive. We become that fig tree that produces the fruit. And sometimes, like our animals, when we don't listen, Jesus is sad. He wants us to care so He can care for us, because He knows that His Father is what we need. I just pray these children go out, have a fabulous, healthy week, and we will all be together soon. In Jesus' name, amen. And like the birdie told me, we are all getting back together. So if you've been here before, I welcome you back. And if you haven't, I would love to meet you in person. So for this week, it's time to go. But I will see you next week. And maybe I'll even have the date for you when we can come back and all be together. Bye for now.